We're about to start this feedback session now. Is there something that you guys see particularly more focus on?
To me, I'm listening as a producer again for the dynamics, for breath control, for pitch and timing. Again, I'm not a vocal coach. I'm a vocal arranger. So my perspective is going to be a little different than Hyojin's,
Right.
because of that. And sometimes I don't even know what I'm listening for until I hear it, and then
It pops up, right?
It pops up.
今なんじゃないメラメラとたぎれ眠っているだけの席こんな僕も君のヒーローになりたいのさラララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララララ
그러면 저는 좀 보컬적인 걸 얘기를 할게요. 그러면 조가 좀 음악적인 이야기를 해주시면 딱 좋을 것 같아요. 그러면 일단 제가 생각을 할 때는 느낌은 굉장히 잘 살린 것 같아요. 이런 일본 음악 같은 노래를 할 때의 느낌은 굉장히 잘 살린 것 같은데 이게 아무래도 이제 우리도 흔히 알고 있는 것처럼 일본의 이 보컬들이 그렇게 발성이 좋다 이런 사실 개념은 아니에요. 근데 개개인의 매력이라든지 개개인의 그런 개성 같은 경우 굉장히 잘 살아져 있는데 제가 볼 때 그런 부분은 굉장히 잘 살린 것 같아요. 근데 만약에 지금 이거를 음악을 보내주신 분이 계속 일본 음악만 할 거라고 한다면은 이대로 잘 살리면서 가도 좋을 거라고 생각을 하는데 이것만이 아니라 좀 더 음악적인 부분들도 소리를 내야 된다고 한다고 했을 때는 그래도 조금 더 기본적인 보컬 공부는 좀 해야 되지 않을까라고 생각하는 게 이게 이제 녹음을 해갖고 지금 후처리를 조금 해서 그런지는 몰라도 음악 노래 안에서 불안감은 분명히 있어요. 아 뭔가 좀 이게 완벽하게 만들어져 있는 소리가 아니라 불안하게 진행된다는 느낌이 있는데 그러다 보니까 그 불안감이 계속 이게 시간이 지나면서 쌓이거든요. 듣는 사람.
Yeah, that's similar. I was going to say for J-pop, there is she does have a good quality naturally for that style of music, a little more smooth. But what I could tell that she's been singing for a while, and the structure of the vocals. I'm assuming she also did the vocal stacks, all of the background vocals too. So there's a I don't know crispness.
We don't
Tighten. It needs tightened up. Similar to what Hyojin said, mine's just more of an overall comment
Gotcha.
you know,
Okay.
about the entire vocal that I heard. I just she's got a good voice. I just want a little bit more precision, a little bit more tight.
들려야 된다는 거죠 노래는. Very superstition, riding on the wall. 근데 저 방금 예빈이랑 친구는 Very superstition, riding on the wall. 이런 식으로 뭔가 정확하게 딱 떨어지는 느낌이 아니라 디테일
No clean cut. You know, she needs to focus on the clean cut. That's what he's thinking.
Yeah, and that's almost what I was trying to say because I was counting along with her, and that's how I heard that. And she's not far. She just needs to work on it. A little bit.
결국에는 항상 우리가 이제 프로로 음악을 하게 된다 아니면 프로가 아니더라도 조금 더 아마추어를 벗어나고 싶다고 하면은 결국엔 디테일이에요. 음악을 얼마나 내가 더 확실하게 조금이라도 그러니까 크게 보이는 부분들은 누구나 다 부를 수가 있겠지만 그 조금씩 우리가 노래를 이어가는 그런 브릿지들에서 확실하게 좀 더 잡아주면 더 좋은데 지금 그런 부분들이 떨어지니까 전체적으로 완성도가 다 떨어진다는 느낌이 든다는 거죠. 아마 그거는 조도 그렇고 저도 그렇고 똑같이 들었던 것 같아요. 그런 부분들을 좀 더 잡을 수 있다면 훨씬 더 좋은 게 되지 않을까라고 생각을 합니다.
Why should I feel discouraged? And why should a shadow come? And why should my heart be lonely and long for the heavenly home? Ooh, when Jesus is my portion, my constant friend, He's here. His eye is on the sparrow, and be.
이게 일반인들이 들었을 때는 잘한다고 느낄 것 같아요. 일반인들이 들었을 때 잘한다고 느낄 것 같은데 사실 우리가 들을 땐 한국말로 얘기하면 겉핥기라고 얘기해요. 그러니까 너무 이 표면적으로 그래서 그게 역시나 아까 우리가 예빈 씨 같은 경우는 박자가 타이밍이 문제가 됐다면 여기는 피치가 문제가 너무 큰 거예요. 그리고 그 정확한 재즈 스킬을 이해하지 못하고 아까 얘기한 게 그건 거예요. 따라만 한 느낌인 거예요.
First of all, I think he has a nice voice. I think he could sing. But it sounded to me like he was thinking instead of singing. Yeah, and because he's thinking about the how it should sound. I think that's what Hyojin means about lacking the depth of the voice. Because I heard that too. It seemed like he understands the concept of dynamics for sure. But yeah, the thinking seemed to just be holding him back. Like he couldn't really fully connect with the song because it sounded like there was just more thought to it. And the runs, vocal runs,
Right.
that's a skill unto itself. So if you're going to do vocal runs, they can either make the vocal great, or they can make the vocal sound like you're not as good as you really are. They could tell that he's on the right track. Like he could, with work, make this song fantastic. But if you are going to do vocal runs, you have to make sure the notes are spot on within the chord. I'm being very picky. Like I think you just keep working on it, and he's got it. Like I can tell he's not a beginner, but there's definitely things to work on. I just don't want to be discouraging at all. I think he has a really good voice, like pleasant to listen to. It's just technique.
I could hardly believe it when I heard the news today. I had to come and get it straight from you. Tell me, how am I supposed to live without you? Darling, I've been loving you so long. How am I supposed to live without you? How am I supposed to carry on?
그러면 우리가 노래를 처음 부르게 되면 전부 다 목으로 노래 부르잖아요.
Most of the singers when they start, they sing with the throat, right?
지금 이 노래 보시면 다 그렇게 부르고 있는 거야. I could not believe it. No. I could not believe it when I heard the news today.
Start with simpler songs.
He was saying that you need a strategy when you choose your song. It has to fit you. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you have to find, first of all, the key of that song way too high for his voice. So yes, I think the strategy for song selection is super important, and especially when you're learning. You can't teach an 8-year-old calculus. There were no dynamics. It was all the way to a 10, all the way through. And again, it just, you can hurt yourself that way. Again, it's not to say that he can't eventually be a good singer. You have to go through the steps. And again, for me, that is starting with simpler songs that are easier to control, and to learn to not use this right here as this is not your tool.
Okay.
마이클 볼튼이 원래 락커였거든요.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we
근데
know
이제
that.
데뷔할 때 이제 장르가 블라드 소울로 바뀌면서 이제 소울 음악으로 바뀐 거거든요. 그러니까 원래 고음을 잘 낼 수 있고 소리가 잘 나올 수 있는 사람이었다는 거죠, 원래가.
Sense now that you've said that, because naturally he has a very soulful voice, but technically he does have a rock voice. You can tell he has the rock vocal experience, and I never would have known that. Like Hyojin just made that clear to me.
As a vocalist, you need to learn other instrument too, how it sounds and all. But I think the singers are really focusing on just the vocal. What do you think about that as a producer?
I think that is an amazing point. As soon as he said it, I thought that is fantastic, and I'm going to start telling people that, because to think about what instrument your vocal is playing in the particular song, and it's different every song, is a great way to think about your vocal, rather than just very simply and having a very narrow vision of what a vocal is. Just as a point for all the singers, don't be afraid to lower the key. because you have to lower the key does not mean that you're not a good vocalist.
Because that's what we want to sound like, you know. That's
Right.
what makes us like look like a great singer, right? If you sing high note, you must be good, right?
Yeah, but a high note for a baritone is still beautiful and
Mm.
amazing, and you feel it. But a baritone has a lower range, but that doesn't mean that Michael Bublé is not a great singer like Michael Bolton. It's just Michael Bublé is a baritone,
Yes.
and it's beautiful. So if Michael Bublé tried to sing that song in the same key as Michael Bolton, it would sound bad.
Nice. Yes.
싹을 틔워내고 뿌리가 내려 마음이 갈라지고 가지가 뻗어난 몸을 풀어내고 잎이 우거져 그늘이 지고 올려다봐도 빛은 비추지 않는다 마음의 크기는 좁아진 화분처럼 우리가 굵게 뻗어 날수록 더 많이 조각나 무너지고 더 이상 남은 것도 줄 것도 없고 화려함은 점점 시들어가고 미움의 잎사귀만 무성해 나무에 이르는 사랑 더 자랄 것 없이 커져가네 휘청거리는 그대와 나 마음가리를 해야 했네
I thought it started out beautifully, and I thought she understands the dynamics that I keep talking about, because it started off properly, emotionally from the start for me, and it slightly built, which was great. And for a live song, a live vocal, I thought that was good. I just songwriting. I wanted to hear it go to, and I don't know where the song was about to go, so maybe it was about to. But I just wanted to something that would be satisfying, like a release. If that makes sense?
I mean, do you think it's great to kind of fuse together, like Phil Collins, for example, like Phil Collins writes a very great ballad, and then if we use that Korean ballad and kind of fuse into it together, do you think that will work in a mainstream?
I think it could, and I would certainly love to try to produce something like that. For me, and this is just my perspective as a producer, it's all in the production, the instrumentation, and the playing of the instrumentation is how I would meld the two. But yes, to answer your question, I do think it could work, and I would certainly love it if people started trying that. If that became more-
I think it's a great idea. Actually, we are having negative thoughts about AI, but I think this could be a great collaboration. You know, using AI and use the like Korean ballad and the mainstream US or UK production together, and AI can actually produce or compose the song out of these two elements and make the best out of it, right?
I would certainly love to hear what that sounds like, you know, and do that experiment.
We're gonna wrap this
Okay.
live show. So he's asking, how was your experience?
Oh my gosh, it was fantastic. This was super fun.
Oh,
And I love the energy of the show. It was great to chat a little bit and talk about a theme, and then get into some music and helping some people with their careers and helping them move forward, because I just think what's important about what we all do is to basically help people get better, achieve their dreams, but really just learn and get better at their craft. Because if you love it, and we're all here because we love it, then you should be willing to work at it a little bit.
right,
and
exactly.
and anybody who is willing to work at it, I'm willing to help them. And
Yes.
to all the listeners and to the artists, the singers who sent in music, I want to applaud your courage, and because you're making yourself vulnerable, by letting us listen to your music and comment on it. And I know that takes courage, and I hope we were more encouraging than discouraging, because all we want to do is help people succeed, because we all know how much we love it.
Right.
If you love it, and I know you do because you're here right now, then I just keep working at it, because it's a craft, yes, but it's also food for our soul, and we have to do this. If you love music, you have to do this. So I just want to encourage everybody to. Oh, here's the biggest thing: don't quit. Never quit. It took me a long time to get here. Many, many years, lots and lots of rejection. People tell me no all the time. But if you love music, you can't stop. And just be true to yourself. Know that you have to work at it, even though you love it, even if you're naturally gifted. But just keep going, no matter what. No matter what, keep going. And I promise, it might take a month, it might take 10 years, but you will get to where you want to go.
So lastly, you are also PIVODIO expert. So what can you help once viewers sign up with you?
Ooh, I would love to original songs. If you just have a guitar vocal or a piano vocal, and you just want to talk about your song's structure or melody or lyrics, anything about songwriting, I would love. But also vocals and vocal arranging, your harmony stacks, music production. If anybody is ever out there interested in that, that's something that I would love to help with as well. But for I'm sure the majority of the people listening here, it's vocals and songwriting, and but it doesn't matter what level you're at. If you're just starting out, if no one's ever heard this song and I'm the first person to hear it, that's cool. Or if you are 15-year professional and you have very technical questions about the songwriting or the melody or the lyrics or your pitch or the timing of the rhythm of the song, any of that, I would love to help you and help improve anything that you need to improve at whatever level you're at.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much. I know it's early in the morning, but
Oh, no, it's great.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for having me.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And Joe, thank you so much for appearing on the show. Thank you.
Absolutely, let's do it again. And everybody else, enjoy your weekend, and thank you again so much for having me. This was a pleasure, and I love it.
Thank you.